So let's start today's class. So in today's class, we will take our first topic as speed. Okay. Now what is speed? So imagine this is the person, and this person is at this point, and this person is traveling certain distance and reaching to a new point. Suppose this point name is A, this point name is B. Then person is going from here to here, and it is traveling certain distance. Suppose that distance is s, the length of the distance is s, and the time what is taken on the way, the time while they're traveling, like 1 hour, 2 hour, or whatever time the person has taken from point A to point B, that time you consider as small t. So how do we define the speed? So speed we simply define as the ratio of whatever distance is traveled divided by whatever time you have taken. It means your speed is simply going to be s by t. Okay. What is your s? Your s is traveled distance. I mean whatever distance you have completed. Okay. So you can say you can say distance traveled divided by time taken. Time taken means on the way how much total time you have taken. Like suppose if you started at 11.15 and when you reached here it was 11.20. So how much time you have? 5 minutes. Okay. Now you check the unit of the speed. So because see, you have distance, so unit of distance is, you have meter, you have centimeter, you have kilometer. Like these are the popular units of distance. And what is the unit of time? Unit of time, popular units like second, minute, hour, like these are the popular units. Okay. Means what? Whenever you will divide distance by time, any one unit you will pick from distance and any one unit you will pick from time. Okay. It depends how you are measuring your speed. So you can popularly we measure as meter per second and kilometer per hour. Okay. Mostly popularly in physics course we measure speed in meter per second and kilometer per hour. Okay. There are some very interesting units that also I will teach you, but before that I will clear the idea about speed. Now see, sometimes suppose you are traveling in car or you are riding on bike, someone is rider, and you may feel that bike is very slow, or you may feel that bike is very fast or car is very fast. Okay. So when you say that okay, your bike is very fast or your bike is very slow, in that case how will you say? Like you have two things, one is instantaneous and one is average. For example, imagine this is the bike, and someone is riding the bike, and you are standing backside, and smoothly the bike is going, but suddenly this person increased the speed. Suddenly speed increased. Then what will you say? Hey, don't go fast. So it means what? For a particular moment you experienced the speed very high. Okay. This is one way. Okay, so this is called instantaneous speed. Like on a particular time you will experience the high velocity or high speed. Okay. So it is known as instantaneous speed. Means at a time you will experience the speed is fast or slow or moderate or what, at a particular time. Now another way of talking about speed is average speed. Just a minute. Actually I was eating bread, and in that I had some chaat masala, and some particle of chaat masala went in my nose. Yes. Okay. So now see, we have something called instantaneous speed, and I hope you understood the idea of instantaneous speed. It's like at a particular point what was the speed. And then you have another speed that is called average speed. Average speed. Now let's feel this speed. Suppose there is some place, for example, suppose this is Chennai, and suppose there is another place called Bangalore. So you started from Chennai, and like when you will ask people like how much time does it take to reach Chennai to Bangalore by vehicle. Suppose in case if people are saying 5 hours, so if you are taking 7 hours, it means your time is too much. If you are taking 2 hours only, it means you are fast, you are running very fast. So average speed, how to feel this average speed? Like to cover the complete distance, how much time you have taken to cover complete distance. Like average speed will not talk about the instantaneous point. I mean, for suppose you are going from Chennai to Bangalore, and you have so many places. So if I will ask exactly when you are crossing this place, that time what was your speed? So that will be your instantaneous speed, because that will be a particular time, right? Suppose you are traveling, you are passing this distance, this place. So when you are passing this place, that time what was your speed? So that will again be your instantaneous speed. So actually in real life, what you experience, that is your instantaneous speed. Every time whatever speed you are experiencing, that is your instantaneous speed. But what is your average speed? Average speed means from one point to another point when you will reach, then total how much distance you have covered, and that distance you have covered in how much time. So distance by time, if you will do, that will be your average speed. I will repeat again. Whenever you talk about the speed, actually you have to talk about two types of speed. One is called instantaneous speed. Instantaneous speed. And one is called this thing, average speed. Average speed. Now question comes, in our daily life, which speed we should go? I mean, we should talk about instantaneous or average. So actually this question is not having a sense. Main thing is, whenever we run or whenever we walk or whenever we travel, every time whatever speed you are facing, that is instantaneous speed, because at every time you can see your speedometer in your bike or in your car. You have a speedometer. That in the speedometer, you understand what is speedometer? There will be one needle and numbers will be written here, and those needles will shift, and that will tell you like what is your speed. So you have two types of devices to measure the speed. Earlier days, like needle system was there. Nowadays digital system is there. Like it will write 1 2 3 4 15 60, like that. It will write on your screen in your bike or a car. Okay, so earlier days, this system where we were using needle and deflection and we were getting the idea, that is known as analog system. Analog speedometer. And now we have digital speedometer. Okay, so digital speedometer will give you very accurate answer, but analog will not give you accurate answer. For example, imagine if you have 10 here and you have 11 here, but if you have your needle somewhere here, then you cannot be very accurate. Like you cannot say it is 10.5, maybe it is 10.4, or maybe it is 10.3, not sure. So analog will not give you accurate value, but digital will give you, can give accurate value. Yes. So now see, if we talk about speed, then either instantaneous or average. Now in instantaneous speed, we have formula. What is the formula? Formula you cannot apply. See, speed is equal to distance by time formula. You cannot apply to find out instantaneous speed. Why? Because instantaneous speed we find out at a particular time, and when you are talking about a particular time, but here this time is not the particular time. In the formula, this time is not a particular time. This time is the time taken to travel certain distance. Are you getting what I'm talking? Instantaneous speed means you have to talk about the particular time. Like right now it is 5:48 p.m. So exactly at 5:48 p.m. what was the speed? That speed is known as instantaneous speed. That you cannot find by this formula, because in this formula, this time is actually not a particular time. It is a time duration. It is a time gap. Like in this much time you are traveling this much distance, but instantaneous speed needs the exact a particular value, like at that time what was your speed. So how will you find out instantaneous speed, and how will you find out average speed? So this formula what you are seeing here, it is only valid for average speed. Yes. So Instantaneous speed, you have something else. When you will go to upper level of your foundation, there I will teach you how to find out instantaneous speed. For time being, you just know, with the help of, there is something called differentiation. This differentiation you will learn in 11th and 12th class, but in foundation we teach this early, in young age. So I will teach you differentiation, but not in this class. When you will go for 10th foundation, that time I will teach you this thing. Okay, so we got that. Okay, there is some technique called differentiation, and this is mathematics. This differentiation is a chapter in mathematics. Like you in 8th class you have several chapters in mathematics: triangle, circle, area. In same way, in 11th 12th maths you have differentiation as a chapter. So after learning differentiation only, you can find out your instantaneous speed. Okay, and to find out average speed, it is very very easy. Just you calculate total how much distance we are traveling, yes, and total how much time we are taking. So let's have one question here. Okay, the question is, A, B, C. A person is starting from here. This is 3 meter, this is 4 meter, this is 5 meter, and person is walking on this distance, and it is traveling completely. It is reaching here, and it is doing this in 3 seconds. Sorry, not 3, 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, person is reaching from point A to point B, and then person is again coming down from B to C in 10 seconds. Okay, so I can ask you 3 questions. What is the speed? What is the average speed? What is the average speed of the person on the path AB? This is first question. Then second question, same. What is the average speed on path BC? Then again, third question, what is the average speed on path A to B to C? Okay, like complete. Yeah, so take down the question, and then I will teach you how to solve this question. I think you can solve this question, right? You just try. Okay, so I think you are doing a mistake. See, first you talk about path AB. So first you talk about path AB. So on path AB, if you are looking for average speed, then you have to think what is the total distance. So that is nothing but 5 meter. So you put 5 meter, divide by how much time you are taking, 30 seconds you are taking. So 30 second. So if you will solve this, then this 5 and 30 will cancel. 5 1 ja 5, 5 6 ja. Okay, so 1/6 we are getting meter per second. Because of that masala I am getting this. Just a minute. Yeah, actually when I was making that thing now, it was kind of pav bhaji I was trying in my room. So that masala powder came in my nose. Okay, it was very tasty, yeah, very tasty. I'm a good chef. Yes. Okay, You know, this average speed is, yes, sure, sure. So you can see we got our average speed as 1 by 6. Now 1 by 6 you can solve, right? If you want to answer in decimal, you can solve 1 by 6. So you just take decimal here, so 10, so 1 time, so you put 6 here, then 4 will come, then how many times it will go? 0 will come, then how many times it will go? 6 times. Okay, so like you can say this much, you just leave here like 0.16 meter per second. And how will you judge the unit? You can see meter and second, so that's why I'm writing meter per second. Okay, this is the speed we are getting for this path A and B, sorry, from A to B. Now this question 1 over. Now we have to go for question number 2. Same question, only the path is different and the data is different. Question is totally same. Again we have to find out average speed on path BC. How can we do that? Path BC is 4 meter and time is 10 meter. Okay, so I will just erase the question here, and this part also I can erase. Okay, so for path BC, your average speed is nothing but distance is 4 meter and time taken 10 second. So you cancel by 2, so you got 2 by 5 meter per second. So if you want to solve, or you simply, you know, 4 by 10, you can simply write 0.4 meter per second. Okay, this is also a good technique. So if you have 4 by 10, directly you write 0.4 meter per second. Okay, so we got this much. Now you see what is the average speed on the path A to B to C. So when you are traveling complete A to B to C, it means you have to add complete distance from A to B to C. So that is nothing but 5 plus 4, and total time taken, that is nothing but 30 plus 10. So how will you tackle this third question? So it is going to be A to B to C. If you are taking total, then your average speed is going to be 9. Because why 9? Because it is 5 plus 4. A to B 5 and B to G, like this much. Now divide by 10 plus, sorry, this 30 plus this 10. So this 30 plus this 10, it is nothing but 9 by 40. Again meter per second will be your answer. So 9 by 40 meter per second. Now if you want your answer in decimal, then divide this in decimal, or else you just leave here itself. Okay, suppose if you want the answer in decimal part, then how will you calculate? I am changing the page. 9 by 40 you have to divide. So you take decimal, so you will be getting 0 here, then you go 2 times, then you will be 80, so you got 10, then you again 0 will come, so again you go 2 times. You cannot go 3 times because it will be 120, so 2 times it will be 80, so it will be 20. Okay, so like this 0.22 is enough. 0.22 meter per second, this is enough. Yes, ask. No, distance by time. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, because the formula is not allowing you. Formula is saying you that you cannot add both the speeds, and you cannot do that. You are saying, I am getting what you are saying. You are saying, sir, already I have data for this and already I have data for this, so why we are not simply adding? Because it is against the formula. Formula says total distance by total time. This is the formula. So total distance means you have to add distance and then you have to add this distance. So total is, and you can, of course, you can check what answer we are getting, and by using this technique, that is 0.22, and what answer you will get if you will do in this way. 0.16 is there, and 0.4 is there. So 0.16, if you will add with 0.4, you are going to get 0.56. Correct? So you can see here we are getting 0.56, but it is not the right way. What is the right way? We have to complete, yeah, yes, complete distance we have to do and complete time we have to take out. Okay, so I will just change the page. So are you okay with this answer, 0.22 meter per second? Very good. Now see, in same way we will do one more question. An aeroplane, and you can write airplane. See, we have two words. One word is airplane and one word is aeroplane. Out of these two words, they are same thing, but one is British English, one is UK English. I am not sure which one is British, which one is UK. You can Google it. Yeah, probably. Yes, right. And aeroplane and airplane, it's better to write aeroplane. And aeroplane is flying on a circular path of radius 100 meter and completes a circle in 20 minutes. What is the average speed of the aeroplane? Okay, so can you try this question? Try this question. This question is easy. If you will not do any mistake, you will get the right answer. Okay, if you got the answer, then let's see my solution. Actually, see, it is very easy. Aeroplane is flying on circular path. So just imagine this is the circular path on which the aeroplane is flying. So suppose this is your aeroplane. So when the aeroplane will complete one circle with the radius suppose is the center, radius is given as 100 meter. So because radius is 100 meter, so you can clearly understand this 100 meter on this radius aeroplane is not flying. Try to understand. Aeroplane is not flying along the radius. Actually, where the aeroplane is flying? Aeroplane is flying on the circular path. Circular path means this path. So it means what? Actually, circumference. Yes. So the distance, because how much only one circle, data is given only for one circle, I mean only for one cycle. completes one circle, right? Only one cycle. So for one circle, the data is given. So distance will be how much? 2 pi r. Okay, and how much time it is taking? So time is also given as 20 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes you convert into second. So 20 into, you see, minute is there na? This minute you can replace by 60 second. In 1 minute we have 60 seconds. So we got our time. If you multiply 2 and 6, you are getting 12, and then you have 2 zeros here, so put 2 zeros. So these many seconds we got. And one more change we have to do here. In this 2 pi r, we have to substitute the value of 2 and pi and r. Okay, so pi you leave as it is, that I will take care later. So right now radius is given as 100 meter. So 2 into pi into, put the value of radius here, it will be 100. So if you simplify this 2 and this 100 you multiply, so it will be 200 pi meter. Don't be confused. Unit of distance and unit of circumference, they are same, because circumference is a kind of distance, right? Okay, so now we can solve the numerical. $200 pi. Okay, now see, if we have to find out average speed, then we have only one way. Total 200 pi meter divided by time taken. Time taken is 1200 second. Okay, so we can do one thing. By these two zeros we can cancel these two zeros. So we got 2 pi divided by 12 meter per second. Now you see, this 2 and 12 you can also cancel. It will be 1 by 6, right? So you got pi by 6. Actually you got pi by 6, because pi is remaining here. Let me change the page. Actually you are getting 2 pi by 12. Yes, ask. Yes, absolutely. See, what you are thinking, that is absolutely correct approach, but that is not the smart approach. If you want to substitute the value of pi, don't substitute in the beginning, substitute in the last, so that in every step you don't have to do simplification. Okay, like you can see easily we are able to cancel 2 by 12 now. So this 2 you cancel by 2, it will be 1. This 12 you cancel by 2, it will be 6. So we got 1 by 6 and 1 pi is here. So multiply 1 and pi, it will be pi only. So pi by 6 meter per second we got as our answer. Now see, now you are free to substitute the value of pi. So actually the pi value is 22 by 7, correct? And already 6 is here. So you have one way, substitute 22 by 7, or you have another way, directly substitute 3.14 and divide by 6. Okay, so if you have 3.14 divide by 6, so you can say definitely this answer is less, so you have to take decimal here. So it will be 31. So how many times it will go? Almost 5 times. So 0.5. So that's all, you leave the answer there. So you got 0.5 meter per second. So approximately this answer. And you also understand, when you have this sign, it means this is perfectly equal sign, and sometimes we use this sign. Okay, so this means approximately correct. In some textbook you'll be getting both arrows are like this, snake. So when your data is approximately correct, then you use either this symbol or this symbol, and exactly correct means this symbol. Okay. Now take one homework. Okay, now you have question. A train runs 100 kilometer from point A to point B in 30 minutes, and it comes back from B to A in 40 minutes. what will be the average speed of the train? So this is your homework question. Take one more homework question. Yes. Ask. Hmm. Yes, because what will be the average speed of the train for the complete journey? For the complete journey you can just make the question in more proper way so that you will not be confused. What will be the average speed of the train for the complete journey from A to A? Clear? From A to A means it will go, it will go from A to B, then it will come back. Now you take one more question. A cyclist travels 5 kilometers in 1 hour. And one more thing, always give your answer in meter per second. A cyclist travels 5 kilometers in 1 hour on a straight road and then covers a semi-circular track of radius 100 meters in 20 minutes. What is the average speed in the total journey? I have written here extra line. Okay. Now you see, when we talk about our speed, then speed formula is distance by time. But when we talk about velocity, then velocity depends on displacement. It does not depend on distance. Velocity depends on displacement. So all the questions we can solve for velocity also. Only one thing will change, distance will convert into displacement, and you know displacement is nothing but the shortest distance, right? So first complete these questions, then I will go to the velocity point. No, don't solve, I mean just copy down from the screen. Very good. Then you see, I will change the page. Now we have a new topic. New topic is velocity. Okay. Now see, actually what we have done just now, we have done speed. Speed is of two types. One is instantaneous and one is average. In same way, velocity is also of two types. One is instantaneous and one is average. Same, exactly same. Instantaneous speed you cannot find out by using the formula Which formula I'm talking? Velocity is equal to displacement by time taken. See, this time taken means that how much time you are spending on the way, that time. Okay, are you getting? Yes. And this displacement you already we have done in previous classes about displacement. So suppose only one thing is being changed. In this average speed formula, you have distance, but in average velocity formula, you have displacement. And you already know that your displacement can be zero if you will come back to same point, but your distance will never be zero. Suppose you are starting journey from here, you went here, you went here, you went here, several, and finally reaching here. Like your initial and final position is same, so your displacement zero, so your average velocity is zero. Yes. So actually, velocity is nothing but it is the combination of speed and direction. It is the combination of speed and direction, and this is the formula to find out velocity. Okay. So now you see in our first question we have taken here. In our first question, if I will ask the question, what will be the average velocity for the journey A to B, B to C? If I will ask in the same question, yes, what will be the average velocity? Now actually it is very easy. If you are finding out average velocity, then 3 meter is your displacement, because actually you are displacing only from A to C. How you are displacing, that does not matter. You went here, 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 here. Where did you go does not matter. Finally where you are, that matters. So we started from A and we are at C now. So we have total displacement only 3 meter. So if you are looking for average velocity, then it is nothing but 3 meter and divide by total time. So total time is anyhow going to be same. Here we had 30 second and here we have 10 second. So total time, you are traveling like this only, right? So time will be this only. No doubt you are stopping here, but total time is same in both the cases. Yeah, distance and displacement, because this displacement you are achieving only by this journey, na? So in this total journey, total time is 40 second. So suppose you are traveling, just an example, suppose you are starting from here and you are going here, going here, going here, going here, going here, going here, and finally you are coming here, then here, then here, then here, then here. Suppose you are stopping here. So only this much is your displacement. But to reach to this displacement, how much time you have taken? So that time you will calculate journey, right? According to journey, how long your journey was. So that's why the time we will substitute here. So that time is nothing but very simple. You can easily find out 30 second here, 10 second here. So 30 plus 10, that is 40 second. So it means 3 by 40. I mean 3 meter by 40 second. So this 3 by 40 we have to solve. So 3 by 40. So decimal, then 0. Still it is less number. Increase the 0, it will be 300. Then it may go 7 times. So it will be this much. So you just leave your answer here. So 0.07 meter per second will be your velocity. Okay. So this is the magnitude of the velocity. Velocity contains direction also. So that I will teach you in later classes. There is something called vector velocity. I have taught you, right? Velocity is vector quantity in previous classes. So velocity is vector quantity. So velocity part, how the vector is coming, all those things we will discuss in later classes. Currently I am just teaching you how will you find out whatever you have got here. This is the value of the velocity. You can say this is the magnitude of the velocity. Okay. So now I will give you the velocity over. Now we will understand what kind of velocity is uniform and what kind of velocity is non-uniform. Okay. So your next heading is uniform and non-uniform velocity. What does it mean? You see, uniform velocity. Always remember, your velocity is actually the combination of speed and direction. If any one will change, velocity will change. And if both are not being changed, then velocity will not change. So here you will learn a point here. If speed and direction both are constant, then velocity will be constant, and it is known as uniform velocity. It is known as uniform velocity, and this kind of motion is known as uniform motion. Copy down. Done. Very good. Now you change the page and you write, if anyone, in the bracket you write either speed or direction. If anyone will change velocity will change, and it is known as non-uniform velocity. And this kind of motion is known as non-uniform motion. And we introduce a new term that is called as acceleration. So if you have change in velocity, then we introduce a new term that is called acceleration. Okay, because you see, your velocity is being changed here in this topic. We are considering either speed or direction, anyone will change. So if anyone will change, then velocity will change for sure. And if velocity will change, then this kind of velocity is known as non-uniform. So this kind of motion where velocity is non-uniform is known as non-uniform motion. And whenever we have non-uniform motion, then we introduce a new term, and that is called acceleration. So you don't have acceleration in uniform motion. You have acceleration only in non-uniform motion. Okay. Okay. So Then you have to solve page number 2.11, page number 2.12 questions, and after that all the questions. Now in next class we have to start equation of motion. That is a new topic, okay, in this chapter. So currently I will give you one homework. Have you copied all these things? Okay, then take the question. I am giving you this. Okay, I have to say some examples of non-uniform and non-uniform motions. So you write the heading as examples of uniform and non-uniform motion. Take down the heading examples of uniform and non-uniform motion. See, suppose there is a straight line. On this straight line, any vehicle is going in this direction with speed 10 meter per second. So here speed is constant because it is 10 meter per second only, and here direction is also constant. Direction is also constant. So both are constant. So because both are constant, so velocity is constant. Velocity is constant. And if velocity is constant, then motion is very good. Motion is uniform motion. And if you have uniform motion, then you don't have acceleration. Then acceleration is equal to 0. Okay. Now one more example. So this is the example of uniform motion. Now suppose I am having this kind of track. On this track, again some vehicle is going in this direction with 10 meter per second. Again this is also same example. Why? Because this direction is not changing. This direction is constant. So we just need a constant direction. We don't need in which direction. No. Whatever direction you want to choose, you choose. Does not matter. Only what matters, that should not change. If you want to go in this direction, go. If you want to go in this direction, go. Go in this direction, go. Does not matter. But don't change the direction. Whatever direction you are choosing, choose. But don't change the direction. And at the same time, don't change your speed. Then only it is known as uniform motion. Right? Okay. But you know, when you are throwing a ball up, suppose you are throwing a ball exactly up, so direction is constant because ball is going up, but one thing is not constant. What is that? Speed is decreasing, constant decreasing and being 0 here at the top. So that's why this is not uniform motion, it is non-uniform motion, right? Okay, anyway, this is the example of second category, but first these two examples you copy. Done. Okay, so now I will change the page. Now you take the examples of non-uniform motion. You can see the pendulum goes like this. So when pendulum is here, in this direction it will try to go. When pendulum is here, in this direction it will try to go. So you can see direction is like this, direction is like this, direction is changing, correct? So direction is changing. At the same time, you also consider, like here pendulum is fast, and here, yeah, it is 0. Here it is again 0, and in between some speed increasing when it is near to the midline. So you can see speed is not constant. Direction is again not constant. Any one is not constant. That's all. Velocity is non-uniform. So it is non-uniform motion because velocity is not constant. At the same time, suppose you have sun here and you have earth here. When earth is revolving around the sun, okay, it is revolving around the sun like this. So you can see at every point direction is being changed. At this point earth is trying to go in this direction. At this point earth is trying to go in this direction. At this point earth is trying to go in this direction. At this point in this direction. So continuously direction is being changed. At the same time, when earth is far away from the sun, then earth is slower, like it will move slowly. But when earth is very very close to the sun, it moves faster because of more attraction force. It moves faster. So you can see speed is not constant. Speed is not constant. Yes, and direction is also not constant. So acceleration will be there for sure. So here you will be having acceleration not zero. Some acceleration will be there. How to find out that, you will learn in 11th class. So in this case, velocity is also not constant. And then acceleration is also not zero. And so this is also non-uniform motion, because you will be having acceleration, pakka. Acceleration will not be zero. Okay, and some more examples you see. I hope you have understood these two examples are sufficient, but still, suppose you are walking on the straight line with 10 meter per second speed, and then suddenly you are taking a circular path, but everywhere your speed was 10 meter per second. Okay, and then again you are going with 10 meter per second. Suppose I am giving name, like name A, B, C, D. So you can see A to B motion is uniform. Why? Because direction is also constant and speed is also constant. So A to B, uniform motion. But when you are going B to C, your direction is changing. Why direction is changing, right? Your speed is constant. You can see speed is constant, but direction is changing anyway. So any one will change, velocity will change. So B to C, non-uniform motion. Then C to D. C to D, again uniform motion. Very good. That's all. We'll stop class today, and you have to do some homework from those that chapter. Okay. So before page 2.14, before the page 2.14, whatever questions you have, you solve all the questions, right? From next class we will do equation of motion. Okay, then we stop the class. Okay, bye bye.